Alright, here we go. After Party 48. We're going to talk about episodes 144, Pussycat Palace, 145, Status Quo, and 146, Repeating History. Well, 144 is pretty self-explanatory. What's Status Quo?
Leland? I think it was something like Sally had talked about. It's like, no, we're just here we don't care what's going on with the city. We just want to leave it.
Just keeping the bar open.
And I assume repeating history.
Well, yeah.
Our good friend.
Clearly the party never learns.
We were supposed to learn something?
That should be a ... at the end of every one of these titles. All right, so let's start in with 144, right? Pussycat Palace. We're in Drukhall, and Emily, what do you have down for our first piece of information?
We had a plan to go into the Pussycat Palace just to find out which Brightwood was being held captive. That was the one thing we wanted to know.
That was a good plan. It was a good plan.
Also the amulet,
Well, yeah, amulet, it's important. We need to know that too. But which Brightwood?
Bill looks sheepish right now.
It all happened so fast.
That's what she said.
Oh, what a complete disaster.
I don't think it was a disaster. I think it could have gone better.
I mean, part of it was legitimately the dice's fault.
Well, I mean, yes, this is a game in which we are bound to the numbers that we roll on a random generator of varying polyhedric sizes.
The old excuse.
I'd like to think I played that perfectly, but the Nat 1 just totally hamstrung me.
I think you role played it very well.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I think you nailed it. Britt had a question asking whether or not. I mean, even in the past, you've said that you hope to be better at role playing. So she asked, "Do you feel like you're there?" I mean, you've played multiple characters, you've DM'd solo RP sessions. She thinks you're doing well.
You could have got in the tub, you know what I'm saying?
We don't know what real roleplay is till you get in the tub.
I missed out on a real opportunity for roleplay there. No, it's interesting that she asked that, because I think this is some of the role playing that I most had fun with and maybe am most proud of. I don't know. It's hard to, say what you're most proud of, but when it comes to this, I think. But I thought it was great. I had a blast role-playing Falzarin firstly, just role-playing Falzarin being Baron Zarin and trying to, role-play someone who's role-playing someone else. That was fun. And then him being charmed was hilarious. I had a great time. So yeah, I think I've grown. I still struggle. It's hard for me when we do our one-shots and I forget. I don't know. I'm often in just Falzarin mode. And then it's tough to get into a different character. And also voices. Anytime I've tried to do voices with characters, they change every 15 minutes. The voice is a bit different. So I know Booch has had multiple different voices whenever I've played him. So that's a thing. But overall, yeah, I'm happy with the growth that I've made. There's always more room to grow, but yeah.
I think when we went into this Pussycat Palace, I think the thing is I didn't realize I didn't know they were going to take all our stuff when we went in. That was a little bit concerning when they took everything away, and I'm like, oh, this could go really wrong.
Yeah, and you know what? Shav would have known that too. So that's a good point. I didn't even really think of that at the time.
I just played it off as this is the way it works, and I've always got my stuff back, so I'm not.
Right.
If I had any concern, I would have done something else and said, hey, let's go back outside and talk about this.
Right.
But,
right.
That, and then I think the trip up the hallway and to the back to her place was fun. Going through seeing the different rooms, sort of telling Falzarin to keep his eyes on the prize there. Don't look down those doors. You don't want to see any. I feel like I'm sort of sheltering him from the shock that he would experience being a Heracleonian that has never really been out in the real world and
Or taking a bath with a lady.
Yeah,
or taking a bath with a lady, you know.
Hey, you don't know that Falzarin's never taken a bath with another person naked.
You spent 15 minutes explaining how you couldn't get in the bathtub with her.
That was the role playing. Okay?
Sisters, when you're a kid, don't count. Okay.
That was Falzarin role playing.
So you were
Paul's
just being
there.
a tease,
I
right?
see.
Another 10 minutes and they would have been, you know, bow chicka wow wow, right?
Yeah,
Been in there.
exactly.
Oh, it's just foreplay. Well, technically, that one dip that Falsey had in the ocean, they led to him breathing good and swimming gooder. Technically, you're in a bath with lots of other probably people and things.
Mm-hmm.
If I was playing
Probably.
Hannah, would you have gotten the bathtub? That's the real question. If I was voicing Hannah and you were voicing Falzarin,
We don't need to know what you guys do after we
I'm
record.
just saying, was
for
it Leland's fault he
role-playing.
didn't get in the tub?
That's a different sort of Patreon. But
That's a Patreon exclusive I didn't know about?
no,
Whoa.
it's
Is
Built
that part of the
OnlyFans.
377? Because it needs to be.
I can't wait to edit that. I'll make you sound real good, Bill.
no, that was partly Falzarin like not wanting to get in there because he felt like things could go, you know, unpredictably and poorly. And so that was Falzarin playing Baron Zarin, who comes from wherever Baron Zarin hails from and is very prudish and not into that thing. So that was sort of like
I thought it was more because you were worried you had beefed up your muscles and you took off your
Right.
outfit. Those muscles
Like,
that
how
could've been
is
a problem
your
as well.
disguised self gonna hold up to inspection in the bathtub?
Yeah, close inspection.
The length and girth doesn't hold up to close inspection.
It was chilly that day.
Oy.
You know what? She could have just splashed you and the jig would have been up. Right?
Maybe.
Like your clothes wouldn't have gotten like wet because it's just an illusion.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would have been
Falzarin
bad.
got wet. Oh, what?
Oh, okay. Well, so what do you what do you all think of Hannah? Because obviously this was the first time we've had her on mic at least. I mean, obviously there's backstory between Hannah and Mia, but you know, it's not like Mia has actually met Hannah despite the past they have as far as Elena and I like RP moments.
That's true. It wasn't in character type thing. Yeah.
Right.
She's sultry. Now she sounds hotter than Geneva.
There's a reason why she's a mob boss, right? She's conniving and knows what she wants and knows how to get it.
Right.
Yeah, knows how to use whatever she needs to her advantage, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust her, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think Leland and I've had a little bit of discussion about some of the things in Drakal, of course, just because Shaft would know those things. And she was what I expected somewhat. I mean, she's going to be somebody that tried to get your guard down a little bit by, playing with you a little bit, making you feel comfortable, and then that's when she puts the knife in kind of person is what I was expecting.
She's kind of brazen, like, when it comes to going to the theater, flaunting this amulet and stuff. Like, if that's really the amulet, right?
It's hers, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
From her perspective.
She didn't realize how important
No.
it was to somebody else.
No. See, there's a mistake. Hannah knows. Hannah knows
You
what
think
that
so?
thing.
You think,
yeah,
though?
Yeah. She's smart.
I don't know. I mean, she tried to sell it to Falzarin that she didn't, but
I don't know. She's freaking smart, man. I
Yeah.
personally choose to believe that she knows what she's doing. Exactly what
but
she's doing.
how would she have known
That cultist needed it.
that
She knows
its
things.
origin, right? Because like the last cultist would have used that amulet as part of the thing, was like, unless she's very, very long lived as well, she wouldn't have been alive.
What is Hannah? Is she human?
Yeah, human.
Yeah, so this would have been like hundreds of years ago, I think, right? That
Yeah.
that Samuel was actually last
I just think
using,
she's
or
too
whoever
well
last
connected
used.
to not have any clue that that's a valuable
Yeah.
thing to be flaunting around.
Maybe.
But-
So maybe valuable, but not specific purpose.
Sure, maybe there's gaps in her knowledge, but I think that, like, where I'm coming from is, like, she knows that thing is of value and she's wearing it out on the town. Like,
Yeah.
Who's going to take it from a crime boss?
It's been described as being,
Would
you
be
know,
stupid
very
enough to do
beautiful.
Yeah.
Part of it could just be that it's a very, very attractive and unique amulet, and so it looks good to flaunt that.
I thought it wasn't that unique looking. It was kind of plain.
Not according to Baron Zarin. He's enraptured.
I know, I'm just
by it.
asking Leland, when he described it and I was inspecting the fake ones, I'm pretty sure there wasn't much to describe it by.
You were looking at a knockoff. But the other pieces of Samuel's armor that he has, the helm and the boots, like they described them as like gleaming, looking untarnished, like brand new, despite how long-lived Samuel is, right?
It's an ensemble.
Yeah.
But Shav doesn't know much about fashion.
I don't know anything about fashion.
Oh man, there were some good moments in these episodes.
Yeah. So I think we talked a little bit after we recorded, I believe. I was a bit confused with the food going into one of the rooms at the time.
Yeah, okay. So that's there's a kink where like one person is the feeder and they like get off on feeding someone else. Usually they're overweight because they are overfed.
Ooh, cakes and pies.
Exactly.
What?
I think I just watched an episode of. I think at the time I'd watched an episode of Bones that had like feeders and I don't know what the other side is called, receivers maybe. So I was like, oh, okay, this is a sexual kink, so
baby
it's gonna be here.
Baby birds. It's
Baby
feeders
birds.
and baby birds.
Oh no.
It's the BBs.
Cheese pie was featured.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was, I did that just for fun. It's an inside joke for the prior
Yeah, I don't think that
conversation.
even made it into a blooper. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just for us.
We had been talking about whether a cheesecake is actually a pie.
Well, it's no longer just for us.
Falzarin really is me. I can't keep any secrets.
Now I know it's kinky. I didn't even know it was kinky before, but now cheese pie really turns me on in a certain way.
Yeah.
Really?
Emily's going to be force feeding you cheese pies from now on.
There won't be any forcing involved.
No forcing. I'll open right up. You baby bird that cheese pie into my mouth.
Oh.
I don't know why I keep thinking of like a pot pie that just like you cut into it, it's like Velveeta just like pouring out. Just like really messy.
Or it's just like that like nacho cheese from a nozzle.
Yeah, that's, that's what I
go.
keep thinking of when you say cheese pie.
Yeah. You won't crap for a week after that.
It's cheese product.
That's right. You can't actually
You can't
legally
say
call it
it's
just cheese. You have to have the caveat of
It's,
product.
it's
It may
vegetable
contain
oil.
traces of milk.
Milk byproduct.
There you go. Nothing is exactly as it should be.
That's right. Yeah, so we get in there, and Shaft's getting ready to introduce, Hannah to Baron Zarin, and I think I brought somebody to see you, and hi, I'm Baron Zarin, and off we were going. At that point, Shaft was out of there, and I just sort of felt really fun. It was going to be a great time when you said, "I'm done with you. Go ahead and leave." And I look back at Falzarin going, "Oh dear God!"
Oh yeah, like Emily and I are at our computers, headphones off, and I see John take his headphones off, and we're like, "Crap!"
So let me ask you, John, that if the situations were reversed and it was just Shaft, would Shaft have gotten in the pool, in the tub?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know.
Oh yeah. Shaft would have got in there, ripped it off, and sat down there and tried to make a little bit of headway with Hannah, because why not?
Right.
If the opportunity presents itself, right? Probably would have not done anything all the way, but he would have tried to appease her what she was trying to do. But
Would Hannah have invited Shaft into the pool? Because they've had dealings before.
Sure, but Hannah for sure would, because like the thing about like that was like Hannah's power play, right? Like she doesn't want you in the pool because she wants to see you naked. She wants you in the pool so you're entirely, completely naked and right, and no defenses, that kind of stuff, right? Like it's not like her. She's not a horn dog. She's just like disarming the people she's dealing with,
Yeah.
because in that
Yeah.
position she has more of an upper hand, at least in her eyes, anyways.
Wants any advantage she can get.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also, metagaming it. Had you gotten naked and got in the pool, you probably would have had your circlet off, where she was making you do some wisdom saves. So there was that part of it as well.
Yeah.
It all just kind of
Dirty,
came
rotten
together.
cheater.
What? No, hey, Baron Balzarin resisted, and
Oh, it was all for naught anyway because I rolled a nat 1. Oh man, that's funny. That was a great scene.
it was good. I mean, she was lucky in getting off her little curse thing, right? That gave you the disadvantage,
Yeah.
which otherwise you would have had advantage against it, right?
Right. Yeah, I could have negated that nat 1. Not to say the second roll would have still got me out of the mess, but
Would you have activated? He would have had to activate a circlet, though, right?
To be immune to the effect for 1 minute, but if
It's
you're
still
just,
advantage. Okay.
yeah, if you're just attuned to it, you still have the advantage.
Okay.
And I kind of listening back though, I thought, I don't know how well that whole thing played out. So the problem with because she cast Charm Person, like she was casting the spell, right? And you had said, well, would I counterspell this? And I don't know if I kind of in the moment described it well enough to you to give you all the info for you to do what Falzer might do. Because I don't know if it came across as being clear that the Charm Person was an actual spell being cast. Whereas her intoxicating touch thing it's not a spell that she was doing. It's more of an ability that she has.
yeah.
So that's a little different, right? But also the whole situation, she's trying to be non-confrontational. That's why it's literally just she puts the hand on you. It's not like she's slugging you, despite
Right.
mechanically you make an attack roll, but she's not attacking you, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I kind of wavered and was like, I don't even know. Even if he was aware of a spell being cast, I'm not totally certain he would cast Counterspell in this moment because, like you said, it wouldn't have come across as being aggressive, probably, the way she did it. Her body language would have been welcoming and flirtatious and blah, blah, blah. She's trying to disarm me and make me not feel, like I'm in any danger. That's part of her play. So probably the way she would have cast it would have been in a similar manner that wouldn't have come across as being aggressive. So it might have been a bit odd for Baron Zarin in that moment to cast Counterspell, even if he were aware of a spell being cast. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I was thinking.
That's kind of how I picture it. Is the way that she would cast it would be kind of disguised and almost hidden within her movements, so that it wouldn't be obvious that she was casting it.
Right.
Glad it came across like that.
I mean, she has done this before, obviously, and she knows that at some point in time you're going to realize that you were under a charm spell.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And clearly she doesn't care.
Exactly. That's my point.
Right.
She has no fear of Baron Zarin, and she knows with her dealings prior with Shaft, I think she knows that Shaft is a tool for her, right? She pays, he does, and he knows better than to cross her.
Yeah.
So,
also, I think had Falzarin counterspelled, I mean, that's showing a bit of his hand as well. Because at first glance,
Exactly.
I mean, if you're posing as this Baron, that doesn't necessarily that's not equated with some type of additional magical power or feats or that kind of stuff. So that could have been something else to be considered as well, whether or not because it would have involved you going immediately defensive in a situation that didn't come across as being entirely hostile. Because again, even her little curse thing, it's not hurting you, right? It's not. Well, it's negatively impacting you mechanically. Again, this is where the whole mechanics versus the RP they're kind of clashing in a moment like this. Especially even if you look at how exactly does the spell casting work? Because Charm Person is verbal and somatic, so she does have to move her hands, she does have to say some specific words. But again, because the system itself there's no specific words in which, at least rules as written in the book, it's not giving you the specific words that you have to say to cast Charm Person, and whether or not that is something that potentially varies from caster to caster, where they find they tap into their own way of of utilizing their like innate magical ability or their learned magical abilities, right? Or in a lot of cases around this party, their gifted magical abilities that to be able to perform a feat like that.
I sometimes forget that most common people don't have magic or access to magic. Is way later on in these 3 episodes, when Jelly says she can write her sister a letter.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that's how she would do that.
Doesn't everybody have a sending stone?
Or somebody that knows message spell or sending
right,
spell or whatever. Yeah.
Doesn't everybody have a Mia?
Yeah.
That's right.
There's a while where I didn't have enough of those slots, so.
Yeah, it is cool to think, to remind yourself of that, actually. I mean, it makes the world more interesting, I think, that not everyone is gifted with all these abilities. We're a bit of... and the people we come up against that are powerful as well, they're not the common person. Not everyone's like that.
So my question is, how damaging is what she learned to us?
Oh, well... I don't think... I mean, it's not good, but it could be worse, I think.
I think the only real thing is she knows we want it.
Yeah.
And she knows we were being deceptive.
When you say we, though, she doesn't know that Shakara or I am involved.
That's right.
That's the good thing that came out of that, Shakara and Mia didn't come up at all. The Brightwoods didn't come up, despite the fact that I was supposed to get information about what's going on with that. But that's probably a huge benefit to us.
It's an advantage. She has anyone looking out on the streets. They're going to see us all together. So I don't expect her to not know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Shaft and Falzarin come out of the Pussycat Palace and tell Mia and Shakara the good news.
Mm-hmm.
We were all overjoyed.
So happy.
Just stoked.
She's pretty nice. The way he roleplayed it, you could just freaking tell.
It was funny when Shaft saw Falzarin again, and he was like, "Can I do some kind of insight check?" And I gesture him down, and I smack him in the face. It's like, what is wrong with you?
He's acting more like Falzarin than Falzarin does.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Something's
That
wrong
is
with him.
More Falzarin than normal, is what you said.
Yes, that's what it was.
How, I didn't ever actually look up the spell, because Falzarin doesn't have this spell, but how do you break it, or is there a way to break it, apart from, Dispel Magic?
Dispel Magic will do it.
But there's no such thing as, shaking someone out of it, or anything like that, or, dealing damage to
No,
them.
I just wanted to smack you.
So the thing is, if Shaft was considered to be a companion of Hannah, as written in the spell, that would have broken, because Shaft technically made an attack on you. So, Falzarin, if you charm person somebody and say Shakara smacked him up, that would break the charm person.
Oh, okay.
But because it was... Because I said in the episode... A friend of the target's smacks him doesn't break the spell, right? Because Shaft's already on your side, right? Pre-spell. He gets grandfathered in and is able to smack you without risk of...
Well, as far as Falzarin knows, I'm on his side, but if I'm not on his side, then it would have came out right there.
Exactly.
So now you know.
Hey.
Proof I'm on your side.
Well, no, actually, all that does is test that Shaft is not on Hannah's side. So the jury's still out on whether or not Shaft is on Falzarin's
Good
side.
try twisting that.
That doesn't play into what I was trying to sell there, Leland. So.
Now, we skipped something, actually, that I have here in my notes.
You have notes? What?
I was just going to say.
Have notes. I have so many notes. So, early on in this episode, Mia was talking about who her family members might be.
What?
It's another one for us.
So Moby's a friend of Leland's.
Uncle Moby.
Another one that was for us is no longer for us.
If Moby ever listens, Elena named one of her family members Moby, but then said he's not very important though.
Yeah, he's not worth kidnapping.
Poor Moby.
Everyone's got an Uncle
chuckle out of that.
Moby, you know what I'm saying? Like, you immediately thought of that uncle that, like, no one would care if they...
I'm pretty sure I don't know anyone named Moby except for Moby.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying, like, you have an Uncle Moby. I'm saying everyone has an uncle that's like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Everyone has an Uncle Bob. Like, that's the name. Everyone has an Uncle Bob or John,
Yes.
all right? And then...
Yes.
I actually have neither. I had a great Uncle Bub.
You're married to a John. That counts, right?
Does that count?
Sort of like it. You can call me Uncle John.
No, that's not going to happen.
Oh, boy.
Oh, gosh.
Uncle John 69.
Moving right along. Back to the
Yeah.
episode.
What was this again? We had skipped something. Bill made us remember it, and then...
No, I just didn't. I didn't want to forget that I got a chuckle out of that. Maybe no one else will get a chuckle out of it, but I thought it was good.
I got a chuckle out of it.
We did, because we know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
No one
exactly.
else
The
knew.
people that got usually on the inside jokes, that's how they work. The people that
Right.
But now,
That's how inside
listener,
jokes
you're
work.
on the inside.
Gotta watch out for the edges and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do not. Stop it.
Yeah, the end of this episode was, I think, our last play before we had like a pretty big break, right? That was during December, right? We had December off and we released some of the Christmas stuff, but
Yeah.
The great
We
end
took
of
a
year
long
break.
rest.
a big gap. We took a long rest.
We took a long rest, and everybody got their hit points back. Took a long time, though.
Yeah.
It did take a long time, but we come back with 145.
Wait.
Wait,
There was
what do
one
you
more
mean?
thing.
No, come
You have
on.
another note?
I have another note. Hey,
Bill, I don't
it's
like
not
it when you have a memory. This is
Not
annoying.
often I take notes. Okay, we're gonna cover them all.
I don't always take notes, but when I do, it's about one single episode.
I noticed that Shaft seems to be really interested in finding Killian. He asked about where he can find Killian. Hannah didn't have any idea, but it does come up later, I think, as well, too,
Yes.
in these 3 episodes. So I don't know if there's any significance there or not, or if Shaft is just back in Drew Call and that's where he might find Killian or not.
Can
But
I admit something?
That's all Shaft's going to tell you.
It's a little bit late to admit this, but I feel like I have a recollection of Killian Skillian. Why? What is that? Was it that?
that was the name of an episode.
But I don't remember Killian.
I don't think you listened to the episode.
It wasn't.
Or that part.
No. So that was episode 3.
Why is it Skillian?
Oh, yeah.
It has something to do with the roof. It's another name for a roof or something. isn't
Episode
it?
Yes.
3 is where I'm remembering that from.
Yes, you are remembering. Let me
It's like-
find the name.
And
of
at
it.
this point, I'm too afraid to ask Chris Pratt me.
What blows my mind is that Leland can know that
Dude,
you can
he
say the name
knows.
of an episode and he can tell you what number it is. Like, this is not the first time Leland's done this.
Oh, yeah.
For reference. I don't know if it's always been on mic, but multiple other times Leland
It's
has
usually on mic.
said the number of the episode.
Well,
It's
yeah, but he has to
bonkers.
listen to him 20 times each.
Yeah, well, that's hilarious. Session 3, Skillian Killian. A Killian is a type of structure with a single, like, slanted roof. So there's no peak or anything. It's just a one flat.
Oh, right. Like a
but on a
lean-to.
slant.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's spelled different than Killian, and also that was well before Killian actually existed as an NPC.
In this case, Shaft is not looking for a slanted roof.
so it was-
He's looking for a person.
Well, you don't know.
Okay, so but the Killian part was not his name. That's
No.
what, it's like stuck in my head, like Killian Skillian.
Or you know, I think I'm mistaken. I think the Skillian is the roof. The Killian was because you had just murdered Sardo. And it just rhymed with Skillian. I
So we
think
were
that was
killing.
what it is.
All right,
I think
we
the
were killing.
Skillian,
Killing
the
Skillian.
Skillian is the roof. Yeah.
Okay.
if I recall
Helter
correctly.
Skelter.
Right,
Yeah.
but
Now
that
I
was
don't
the
feel
episode
so
where
bad.
you had just killed Sardo and you were running after the Arcanist and you were checking up on the roof, following like basically.
Okay, so
his
we
trail.
killed Sardo episode 3. How long has it been?
No, you killed Sardo episode 2. You killed the Sardo episode
That's
2.
right.
In game, how long ago is that?
So
Don't give an assassin a target and then like look
And
at
that
me
was
like,
Brent.
oh, you killed him episode 2. Well, you freaking gave me a target and then
No, I mean, obviously, I'm glad you killed him because I've got lots of mileage out of Sardo the Magician. Way
Dear
more than I
God.
ever anticipated getting out of Sardo the Magician.
and that was the question Emily was asking in our private Discord today was like, wait, how long has it been in game?
Britt was asking.
Oh, Britt asked it. I thought it was
Yeah.
you.
Britt asked me, and then I posted it out too.
Okay.
Leland, because I don't know.
I spent after dropping off my wondrous girlfriend for a visit at the airport. I spent the last half of my day at work finishing out my World Tracker timeline because it hadn't been updated since session 109. So I spent like 3 hours
work, for sure.
Yeah, very productive, exactly. So unless I've missed a day, maybe 2 here or there, we're on day 33 of the campaign.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I was going to go like 50.
So
is what I was
Brett,
going to
no,
guess.
we cannot wait him out.
It has
God.
So
been
yeah,
7 days.
you can wait him up 11 more months. You can wait him up because a revenant dies
crap.
after a year, right? He goes away after a year if he hasn't fulfilled
that
his
was
thing.
that was mine and Brett's plan that we were trying to hatch. Is we'll just wait out Sardo. It'll be no problem.
33 days to get to level 11. So, I mean, is that because Heraklion was so intensive and each day was lived out moment by moment?
Yes.
Honestly, we spent a lot of that in Heraklion.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy. So 33 days of campaign and like 20 of them were on Heraklion.
Well, that's kind of a weird part about D&D, right? Is that, you know, the leveling up is... When you think about it that way, it seems kind of weird that your characters would progress so quickly in only a month. But
Yeah, it is strange. But also, again, we've talked about how condensed my campaigns
Yeah.
usually are. Like the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
is very small, so it doesn't
True.
take very long. You
Been
don't have
through
extra
a
travel
lot.
time. Yeah, you guys and you all have done a ton of stuff.
I
We've
mean, I've
seen
lost
some
scales.
You've seen
We've
some
seen some
shit.
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Shakar's losing her hair / scales.
My
regardless.
dad was a Kraken, okay? We've been there.
But so we don't have like excess travel time, and obviously in a system like Dungeons and Dragons, the stuff that takes the longest is the stuff that takes the shortest combat, right? Like we'll spend 3
Yeah.
episodes of combat, and it'll be a minute of game time.
Right.
Yeah.
So Bryn was the reason that Falzern and I are in so
Yeah,
much
thanks,
trouble.
Bryn.
So sorry, we were talking about Killian, but like I had to get it off my chest that I was like, Killian, Skillian, is it related? I'm so confused. All right.
Good callback. Good callback.
for the record, Sardo, I actually tried to stop Bryn from killing me.
Why are you talking to Sardo
I did
right
too,
now?
I think.
Sardo,
I did too. Sardo's in the room right now. He's sitting right there.
Sardo's always
On
there.
he's like Alamar. He's
side.
just there.
Once again,
You won't lose on
once
this
again,
deal. No, wrong
Falzarin
guy.
is just somehow screwed over by no fault of his own.
You're still wearing the cap that he gave you, right?
No, that's gone now.
No, that was useless.
You're all guilty by association. Unfortunately, the rules of the Revenant, that's just how they work, I guess.
The
Yeah,
Revenant rules.
some
Shakara
revenant.
wasn't even there.
Yeah, Mia was freaking in.
That's why Sardo doesn't give a
Pisces.
fuck about killing Shikaro or
Okay.
Mia. He just wants to kill Falsey and Shaft. That's
I'm
who
good with
he's sworn his thing against.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so if Shikaro and Mia
Absolutely.
want to sacrifice the boys to Sardo, like Sardo would be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
listening.
as soon as Shaft and Falzarin die, Sardo goes away.
Okay, so a way to end this campaign: Mia joins the coven with Shakara. We sacrifice the boys, and they just become 2 new followers of the coven.
You don't have to worry about Alamar. You've already got your in with, Samuel. And, yeah, I mean, we could wrap this thing up next episode if
We
you
just
really
need to
wanted
take out Izzy.
Turncoat.
Me and Shakara take out
Right.
Izzy. We never met Jessica, so who cares what the hell she's doing?
Oh, I missed after parties. It's been a long time.
145, status quo.
Yeah, status quo.
Yay! Okay.
I have notes for this as well. Here we
Oh
go.
my
Dear God.
goodness.
Buckle in. This is going to be a 3-hour after party.
Interesting. Yeah.
One of my favorite things that Leland's done in a long time happened in this episode, and it was subtle and wasn't flashy, but it was so good. Just like it painted such a vivid picture for me in my mind. So when Shaft sneaks up on Frank and successfully sneaks up on Frank, and all that Frank does is crunch the toothpick. Oh, it was brilliant. It was completely brilliant. I loved it. So good.
I like when your audio is painting a picture, right, in
Yes.
somebody's mind. Taking that sneaking up, going into the shadows, moving up, and you picture Frank sitting there leaning against the wall, the toothpick swirling around in his mouth, sort of glancing out over the street with the the flickering lights and all that. And it's all in your mind, and then that I love how Leland does.
I
that
was right there. I
picture.
could hear the crunch. It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm now wondering what Frank thinks about when he looks at Shakara, because they're both dragonborns, but Shakara looks like she's got mange or something.
Oh, true.
It's like a leprous dragon.
That's a good point.
It is a good question. Yeah, I don't know if we've actually said what color Frank is, but I just always pictured him as like your stereotypical red dragonborn.
There you go. Well, you're at the Tickley. You can always go over and chat him
he's
up.
just maintaining status quo. Yeah.
Shakara only has eyes for one man. Who hasn't seen her in a while either.
What about
It's
Sally,
the cakes
though?
and pies guy.
Yeah, what's Corporal Sally?
Yeah,
gonna
what
think
about
that?
Sally and Shakara and the fight over Grimby's heart?
I
Love
don't think
triangle
I don't
going
think
on.
Sally and Grimby had anything going on.
What?
Grimby was her captain. That's a abuse of power. You think Grimby would do that?
It was
thought
just
they
a
were-
workplace. They were working together.
I thought
That's
they
all.
were.
I mean, Sally was simply his coxswain.
I thought they were knocking boots.
Watch your
No,
language.
actually, I think she's actually the quartermaster, who is the one that keeps all the repairs. I believe is what I had her as. But
So which one's a higher rank now? With her being a corporal, or what?
that's a good question. What exactly
Captain
is the
Grimby.
ranking system of the paladins? Everyone
That's
just
right.
gets any title
That's
that
right.
they think sounds fancy. It doesn't
Sky
actually
ships.
matter.
Yeah.
As long as they do what Samuel says, and he doesn't give a fuck what they call themselves.
Oh my gosh.
It's all just one big house of cards, and it's super easy for it to come tumbling down.
That's right. So we basically found out that Detmer was removed because he was doing something that wasn't in line with the Paladins. The Paladins were obviously, or Samuel was given most of the jobs to Detmer to do. And
Right.
Detmer either got greedy or tried to do
Are
something.
we assuming it's the tower job specifically?
I
That's
think he
my
said
assumption.
it was the tower job.
It's all your fault. And Bryn's, but she's dead, so,
Well, I mean, you all were in Goldham in, I think it was 122 when you were, and you saw that Blake Lakely had been basically deposed as well, and the Paladins were there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the tower job was to go take out the towers, and that's Samuel's thing, so sort of surprising, honestly, that Detmer would take on that job, now that we know that he was sort of working for him. But he's not, I don't think he's dead. I think what was said was I think Sally told us that he's being held somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Dragon Mullen were being held somewhere.
Are you wanting to
Also-
save him because he's got your name?
Mm.
You've never felt too attached to the Detmer name?
I never made the connection.
I believe in my Bryn backstory, it was like, what are we going to call him? And I said Detmer.
But I will say, when Leland did say Corporal Sally, I did not put that together at all.
I don't think I did either.
That was who that was until
There was a second of in between off mic kind of thing, hey, we know who this is.
I think it was me and
right.
yeah, I think it was me and Emily.
Yeah, it was. Collectively, we all had to be wait, pretty sure Corporal Sally was mentioned
Well,
somewhere.
yeah, we
Who-
kept
who the
mentioning
hell is that?
Sally was on the island of Misfit, whatever, castaways.
yeah.
Whatever.
that she wasn't called Corporal Sally, right?
She wasn't.
No,
more than one
but-
Sally in
but
the
the name
There
Aspara.
was a
Sally.
previous episode with the cultist said to us, Corporal Sally.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because that was part of Samuel's pitch to Grimby when he was talking to all of you, giving you, a bit of enticement to hey, do what I need you to do, kind of thing, work for me, kind of thing, right? He did talk about Sally when he was speaking to Grimby, but between what's a bigger enticement for Grimby is seeing Sally again or getting to sail a flying boat.
Oh, yeah.
Better be the boat.
Yeah, so that was fun. And talking to her, I think we got a little bit of it. Certainly seems like they're just there for the moment, right? They really have no interest in being in Drukal or running Drukal or causing controversy there. They're just, they took Detmer out. They needed somebody to sort of keep business as usual. At least that's the way Sally presented it to us. And she did offer up if we needed any troops or anything to help us for anything that we were trying to do, that she would offer those up.
Horses,
which I was going to bring up to you guys later that, we were in the Tickley and we got shit going down in the next episode. Maybe not a bad idea to take Sally up on our offer, right?
Can you
go take care of a revenant for us?
Yeah, well, a couple paladins get killed in the process. No skin off our team.
I mean, we've killed him once already, right? Twice? How many times have we killed? 3 times?
A total of 3 times, but Revenant Sardo specifically, you've killed him twice already.
The first time Revenant Sardo got us in the woods, he rolled terribly, and it was a really awkward long fight of like, right? That I'm That's remembering true. That it was like super, it was like super anticlimactic.
If he retains the power of who he is in, which I think we've talked about somewhat, all we have to do is kill one of the weak little paladin dudes and then kill him, and then he slides into that, and then things are easy at that point.
And then we chuck them into the whatever plane, right? And we destroy everything.
Big brain thinking right there.
But Falzarin has a cage, right?
Well,
I mean, it's not like he's been warned that he needed the cage.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Falzarin, Bill, you have notes, right?
I made a point of doing it about 10 episodes again, too.
This is the story of Bill's life. The problem is I think Falzarin and Bill mesh sometimes when I know that Falzarin would have a cage. Bill is just a procrastinator and a forgetter.
That's the hardest thing about playing Falzarin is that he's not as stupid as I am.
I'll bet you Falzarin has a note that says "Get cage."
Yeah.
Well, he's got a little sticky on his spell book
like
every time he
Sharpie on his.
Oh fuck! I needed that cage.
Fuck.
I'll get it
We've
tomorrow.
only been in a million stores in these episodes, like.
I mean,
I was at the pawn shop. It had to be a cage.
Would there be 100 gold piece or 100 silver? What is it? 100 silver piece worth?
100 gold piece, like silver cage.
Worth of silver, yeah. Would that be at a pawn shop?
That's a pretty fancy cage.
Would it be any place that we've been? And
honestly,
before that, we were at a lake. We were at Pisces. These
totally.
places wouldn't have had it.
Know.
Heraklion would have had one.
Exactly.
Heraklion probably would have had several.
There's a blacksmith in every town, like.
Hold on a second. You're making it impossible for us to get this goddamn cage next time we play.
Stop giving him ideas.
You just gotta go to magic.
You just turn over a rock. Look, there's a cage.
Yeah, of course. There's probably a plethora of them.
My brother Braun's gonna show up and be like, "Here's my kinky sex cage. It's worth 100 silver pieces. I've been at the Pussycat Palace. Have it."
Oh yeah, the cages at the Pussycat Palace have to be.
Well, okay, look, you were
dancers
just
can fit in them.
You were just in Goldham in session 123. The magic's still there. You could have gotten the cage because you went to magic. You know there is a magic in Drukal, so it's
there is
not different. Yeah, you've been
in
there.
Every major city.
Everybody, well, Shakar and me haven't, but the gentlemen have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Falzarin may have to make a quick exit.
Yeah.
Expedient escape.
Oh, so you're gonna go off by yourself in the city?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
What is happening?
All right, we're pre-playing here. Let's go back to episode 145.
I mean,
and it's going terribly.
Or we don't even do the soul cage. You'll have to wait and see what Falzarin does.
Oh god.
Bill has said he gave me he offered to me. I think I know what I'm wanting Falza to do. Would you like me to tell you what I'm gonna plan so I get a heads up?
Don't tell him, Bill. Don't tell him.
I didn't tell him.
I declined the generous offer. Said, do not worry.
And I offered 3 more times, and he continued to decline. And I was bursting at the seams.
Well, maybe if you would have gotten the bathtub, he wouldn't be declining.
Yeah, it's true. Tip for tat there, buddy.
Nobody likes a tease, Bill.
That's fair.
Falzarin's reaction to Braun potentially being in the Pussycat Palace for pleasure was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, I like to play Falzarin as a bit of a
what
prude.
do you mean?
That was with Kepley in 146 though, right?
It wasn't in these?
Yeah.
It was in these, but in
was in
140,
these 3, yeah,
145 was just Frank and Sally, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I have one note from 145. Mia asked Sally for health potions, and Sally says, Aren't you a cleric?
Aren't you a cleric?
I just figured, hey, like, is this a Campbell situation where we get to clear the shelf a little bit and take some stuff? I'll take it.
We also found out that Jelly and Janella are sisters.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Her parents didn't have a lot of imagination, did they?
No.
You should meet the brothers, Jerry, John, Joel,
Well, Jelly's
Jordan.
I think Jelly's full name is Jalala or something. Jalala and Janella.
Yeah.
Jalala, Janella, Jaruba.
I have cousins actually. Two. They're a family of 4, 2 boys, 2 girls, and they're all J names.
Oh yeah.
We could beat you. We know a set of twins named Mark and Marcus.
Nice.
What? I knew 2 boys that were brothers that were Brandon and Brendan.
Oh
That's
my
really
goodness.
But like, what?
What are their parents thinking?
Mark and Marcus.
Ease.
It's so that they could just
Right?
say Mark.
You just
and
yell one, and whichever one comes is the one that does the chore or gets in trouble.
It saves so much parenting time over the years, honestly.
I don't care which one.
It's Mark. I'm Marcus. I don't care. Just take the fucking garbage out.
I mean, yeah, there were definitely our names in our family are very different from each other, but it used to be like, I don't care who you are.
I can't even tell you how many times I've been called KM. KM. I've actually been called Destiny too, which is my niece's name. So
I sometimes get called the names of our pets, like our dog.
Not
or
by
something.
me, right?
By my mother.
Okay.
Right?
Fitz, come here.
So another thing we learned in 145 is that Shaft actually says that he trusts the person who we now need to kill if we want to get this amulet.
Who needs to kill him?
Way. Well,
Us, you.
The collective.
Right,
needs.
Shakara and Mia
one
are not a
option.
part of your party yet.
yes.
Ish.
But anyway, Shaft says that he trusts this leg of rock more than Hannah. So that's interesting.
Well, yeah.
It seems like Lag's more of a down-to-earth, get-in-the-dirt kind of fellow, which I think that tracks. Shaft would trust him more.
Did we not run into Lag and he was the one with like fighters going on in his district? People
I don't
going
think
in
that was
for...
I don't know that we actually
didn't
talked
see
to
that.
Lag,
Oh, okay. But like Lag's district is where they're like, you want to fight? And Mia was like, huh.
Yeah.
Falzarin was flattered, but not in the mood.
Shakara was annoyed, as she is at everything now, apparently.
Yeah, that's definitely a complex that Shakara's developed here. You know, Shakara, you and Igna really are a lot alike.
Don't you say that.
Oh.
I can see it.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I will say after we sit out in front of Kepley's shop for a while, chatting about what we wanted to do, when we finally decided to go get some dresses and stuff, that I was a little shocked that, here walks Igna to throw another freaking wrench in our plans.
Yeah. That was a curveball I did not see coming.
we have enough wrenches, thank you.
I thought you could use a few more bolts being tightened, so I was just trying to lend a hand.
Our bolts are so tight right now, Leland.
Well,
Something's gonna burst.
So we're glossing over a little bit of what we learned from Mr. Cap.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a valuable visit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got a name. What's his name at the front door?
Surrogate.
At the surrogate, which, gave us some information. And we know that she wears the amulet. She only wears the amulet at the plays. She does not been seen arriving with it, and she has not been seen leaving with it, which means it's somewhere in the theater.
Yeah, you
Right?
would assume. Mm-hmm.
And so we do have a good idea of at least going in and trying to figure out how we can snatch it from her, or at least find out a little more information. We did cycle around quite a bit on that plan, right? I mean, we talked about it over and over again, and I still don't think we have a clear path, but I think we have a vague understanding
We just don't want to
of
take
what
our
we think we're
armor
trying
off.
to do.
There were some cuts that had to be made on the editing floor.
I don't want to have an AC of like nothing. I'm scared
Exactly.
Well, think about it. And that was, I think this thing comes up a lot about donning armor. There is a thing in the DM's guide or player's handbook that says how long it takes
10
to do.
minutes.
But I think a lot of DM campaigns, they don't. Do you sleep in your armor? And
you're not
those
supposed
kind of
to.
questions, right?
Exactly.
So if something attacks at night,
None
you
of
really
your business.
Don't have your
I bought
armor
my
on.
own room with my gold piece. Thank you very much. Close the door. You'll never know.
Yeah, I think that kind of just gets hand waved a lot. But if you think about it realistically, nobody's going to be sleeping in their armor, and you're not going to be putting armor on in a matter of 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think there's even rules that if you sleep in your armor, you take a level of exhaustion or something. You can't get comfortable. And
yeah,
I mean, so you can really get into the weeds on that. But I would draw the line on, I got armor in the bag and somebody attacks you and you pop its on.
That's not going to happen. I mean, that's also why like a magic item like that exists where you can put on your armor as an action. Like
what?
Right?
Yeah.
You can get a set of armor.
How do I get that?
Does that.
This exists?
Magic.
Why do I still feel new to this game after all this? Although it's probably another attunement item and all this.
I didn't know that existed, so.
I need an item that gives me unlimited attunement of items. And then
Yes.
I'll be just like head to toe dripping in items.
Okay, I'll give that to you, but for every additional attunement slot above 3, your maximum hit points are reduced by 5.
I already have less hit points than Falzarin.
I knew she was going to say that.
That's because, hey, if you bought a beefed up an amulet of steroids, you'd have a bunch of HP too.
Aren't I a healer or something like that?
Yeah, aren't you? Aren't you a cleric?
I was thinking with the use of the shaft shackles of shackling this episode, I was kind of reminded of the fact that we actually have some pretty solid magic items in this campaign. For all of the harassment we've given Leland for not giving us magical items, we've been kind of had them thrown at us.
Or as it turns out, not letting us find the magic items because we were too stupid to go down the other hall.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, the last haul you technically could have had about 100 episodes ago. But I mean, someone died down there, and I don't think you were about to stick around looking for treasure.
Yes.
What is the fly speed of your broom?
I think it's 50 feet as long as it's not overweight.
I think so, yeah. I'd have to look it up.
It's not going to get you to the cage shop fast enough then. Never mind.
Well, it can travel faster than Sardo can, so I can. You guys might be screwed.
All you care about is I'm slower than you. Then.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even need to trip you. I just need to hop on the broom.
Well, we are into 146 now, and Shaft said something in the beginning of 146 that I found very. I couldn't wrap my brain around it. Kepley's Exchange is on the southeast-west side of the city.
So you got to remember, you can't put little dashes in between words when you're talking. It is the southeast side of the west side, I think is what I was trying to say.
The southeast-west side
of the western zone on the southeast
Said by
side.
a true cartographer.
Just ask around. Everybody knows where it is.
It is actually John who is our cartographer. He makes all the maps for our website.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
We're in trouble.
I know, it's the southeast-west side.
I've got the little north symbol just spins.
Yeah. I was going to say, sometimes you just
on the map.
flick it and let it rip. You just spin it around.
That's right. Yeah, I thought that was funny. How do you get to the tickly servant? You go down.
Just ask around.
You'll find it. Just ask people.
Everybody knows where it is.
Southwest, and
I should have just told him the wrong way, but I didn't know how to do that. Go to the far north, up past Hannah's place, and we'll meet you there.
Yeah, you could have. I wonder what would have happened.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, if he really, truly has no idea where the hell it is.
But also, that you were giving him those directions before Shakar had sent you to tail him, right? So you didn't have the information you have once you followed him, right, and got into the warehouse.
Yeah, so what else was in 146? Was that
Well, yeah, the talk with Cap,
You gave Cap
shaft splitting off.
Body bag of holding.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. For safe, he wants to carry Danzig around, right?
Don't look in it.
It's starting to
Don't
stink.
It was stinky. He was in fish.
He's in a different plane
of
of existence. You wouldn't smell him in the bag, right?
You have to put your head right into that sucker before you could smell it.
Can you imagine like the stench of like the fish junk? Then gosh.
Yeah, he
And the
was
body
already kind of
deteriorating, and
yeah.
Wouldn't it be like in stasis inside the bag of holding though? Like it wouldn't get any worse than it was when it was put in.
Ask.
Well, I
Pooch.
mean, technically, it's been like 6 days.
Yeah, right. He's just rigor mortified, right?
He's rigor mortified.
I will tell you right now, if he was a human, 6 days is
That's a long time to be
plenty
dead
of time.
and smelling.
I've watched enough CSI. They could tell by the bugs that are eating him how long it's been. You know what I'm saying?
I think what's really impressive is that a tailor can make 2 dresses and a suit, and we only have like an hour.
Well, I believe we discussed that. They were off the
Right.
rack and not really that great of a fit.
Yeah, we didn't discuss it on mic.
No,
that's
it
why I
didn't
was
make it into
bringing
the
up,
episode,
yeah.
but yeah, they're just slight alterations.
And then the one for Igna,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be a little short on his ankles.
It's all right off the cuff, right? He's about yay
good enough.
tall, yay
It's
wide.
good enough is what it is.
Well, hopefully he won't be attending the play.
Hopefully it'll be itchy. He'll have to put it on and he'll have to wear it and it'll be itchy.
He should have made it like a straight jacket, then we could have him try it on and just latch it
Lock him
up.
up. God, oldest trick in the book, Igna, you idiot.
And you strap this. This belt goes around the back. Move your arm.
Yep. This one goes
That's
between
it,
your
that's
legs
it.
and up your back.
Quit squirming. You're gonna like this.
Speaking of being squirming and liking things,
Uh-oh.
Kepley told us about.
Kind of.
Kepley told us how Braun
segue
was
is
a
this?
guest of Hannah
Oh yeah, that's
and some other stuff, which I then took to mean he wanted to be there, which
Yeah.
might not be what was actually meant. Guest might have been used as just polite way of saying captured.
Leland, is it frustrating when I deflect?
Well,
When you, there's been a couple times I think you were trying to get something across, and I intentionally went a different direction to not let you get that across.
yeah, but also, like, that honestly helps me play the NPC. Because when the NPC sees you deflect, then the NPC knows to deflect. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Fair enough. That's right. Yes.
not that there was any. I can neither confirm nor deny there was any kind of
of course
deflection.
not. No. If one was too, that would be the feeling
if
one would
deflection
get.
were.
Like, I mean, a shot every shot in 100, there's a ricochet, right? Like, I mean, you can't predict these things.
Right.
Sometimes it just happens. I like Kepley. I think he's a great new NPC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging Drew Call so far.
Yeah, it's fun to be in another big city.
So just as a note, Kepley is his value is keeping secrets, right? Not talking, but he is giving Shaft some information. Why do you think that would be?
Well, and before the rest of you answer that question, there was a part where Mia was like, "Why are we talking in front of Kepley?"
Yeah.
And Shaft was like, "Oh, he won't say anything." And Mia, you had the comment like, "Well, we're giving him a lot and not getting anything in return," when it was the complete opposite. Like, Kepley gave you all the information, so I don't know why Mia. Like, does Mia feel that way about Kepley?
No, it's probably just Elena not realizing.
Being a smartass?
Yeah.
I mean, you could take the stance of, if he really doesn't say anything to anybody, why is he giving us information?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's totally what I was thinking. That's it.
I thought
Deflection!
Shaft and Cap go way back, and Kepley probably owed Shaft some kind of favor.
Yeah,
Or favors, multiples.
that would make
So
sense.
that's why Kepley was giving Shaft information, whereas normally he wouldn't share information with anybody about anybody. but they had some kind of special bond, something that had happened.
Yeah, there's probably a bit of hierarchy as well. Like, certain select people are in the very, very upper echelon with Kepley based on, the number of years they've known him and all that sort of thing. I was going to
say, Shaft ain't up there.
And they might have access to some privileged information that nobody else would get out of Kep.
He's a top tier on Kepley's list of trustworthy.
Yeah. Shaft's in the penthouse with Kep.
In the tub.
I was going to say something about the tub.
That's an interesting theory because honestly, what Elena was really talking about in the hierarchy of Trukal, Shaft's just a cog in the wheel, right? Same with anybody else that lives in Trukal.
I'm just a rich cog with no money, so that's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So technically, you're a cog that's probably pretty large but doesn't turn.
Yeah. I'm a defective cog.
Yeah, you're a defective cog.
Defective cog.
Every time
no gear teeth.
Next episode is called Defective Cog. I'm just
defective cog.
I'll remember that.
I'm sure each and every one of you will do something that could and I'm not going to say it will be, but could be labeled as moronic, inane, useless, and the title defective cog could potentially apply to any one of you. So don't take it personally, Elena. Don't take it personally. Exactly.
Our plan at the theater is going to go swimmingly, I can tell.
I'm very excited for the theater. I've never been this excited for the theater.
I love capers. This just feels like a plan. It's been a long time since we had a plan that had.
Yeah, we haven't had a good hijink in a while.
Yeah, there's a heist.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think you left in the episode, which I was sort of surprised when you did, and I said something like, "It's good role play, is why."
He lives in everything now. Makes us look terrible.
No. I mean, the rule of thumb, which Elena has pointed out before, is if I say something witty, it stays in. So I am saying something.
That's true. If it makes
Leland just wants everybody to sympathize with him. Look at these moronic idiots he puts up with.
Feel bad for me.
I think so. You said something like, we tried to play it off, and you said, yes, in a play, it should be good role play.
That was Falzern.
Falzern said that.
And then
Leland said, should be. You should have good role play.
And that guaranteed stayed in the episode.
Yeah, that's what it was right there.
Yeah.
Just like when he thought really hard to as Jelly be like, are you sure you're rolling the right amount of dice? That killed me.
Well, I don't gamble, so I can't comment on that.
That was a good retort.
That
was a good retort, Falter. But honestly, you set that up for a T for Jelly. So
yeah, I did.
That was awesome. I love that.
The dice just don't roll in my way, thinking he's being funny, referencing D&D.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So back to the task at hand here. Ignis shows up. Shakara pulls him aside. He says, "I got the false elders. Let's go and gank them." Shakara eventually gets to send him away and then sends Shaft after him.
Oh, that was so frustrating for me because you guys kept interrupting and I'm like, just shut up, let him go. I'm going to have Shaft follow him. Just let this happen. Don't question every little thing. I'll explain in a minute. It was so frustrating.
Don't you love us?
I was so sure you guys were going to ruin this. And I'm like, just hold on. Just hold on.
So what did Shakara think when she heard Igna say, "We have captured the false
elders"?
False
elders.
Yeah.
Oh shit, is what she thought. Like, how the hell did they do that?
Oh yeah, same.
That's what Falzern thought. That's what Bill thought.
Also, good job that we didn't tell Jelly that her sister is not in Heraklion.
No, we couldn't.
Well, her sister's potentially bound and gagged in a warehouse.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
She's as safe as she could be.
Yeah,
safe as
sure she's fine.
That is, by the way, that is not a reassuring thing to say to somebody.
That's right.
I made a really creepy comment about her being safe and then like an even creepier laugh that I don't remember making at all. And when I heard it back, I was like, what was I thinking?
What you were thinking, I know something you don't know.
Yeah, but it just came across as ultra creepy.
You were drunk. Well, you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah,
You were like 5 shots in by then. In like 20 minutes.
Unbelievable.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is quite the mess. I wonder where they have them. You know, like that's.
I
Gonna be
don't
another
think they
problem
have
for
them
us
at
to
all.
solve.
Igna and Kula don't have
It's a
the
bluff.
elders. They're
Yeah.
still on the
No.
run. I have no idea where Kula is. I don't know if Igna killed him and blamed it on something else and then took off with Sardo. I don't know. Kula was the more level-headed of the two, so I'm hoping that's not what happened. Maybe
Okay.
Kula's still looking for the elders while Igna is on
Yeah.
this quest with Sardo. I mean, obviously, Igna does not like Shakara. I feel confident in saying that.
We gave him a pretty far, we gave him an advantage, right? Like, they have a pretty big lead.
Right.
And you think they wouldn't go to the city we're going to?
I would hope not. I would hope they're smart enough to stay hidden, and then keep moving.
I found it hard
But-
to believe.
It is a small world.
After all.
It's a small world.
I had a point, and I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
It's okay. Totally lost it.
Igna doesn't like Shakara.
Yes,
You were on that.
that's what I was gonna say. Yes,
You ored him.
Igna
You
can't
did or him,
kill.
I mean.
I did or him. Igna can't kill Shakara because he would face Isabella's wrath. Shakara and Isabella have issues, but I still don't think Isabella wants Shakara dead. So Igna can't kill Shakara. But if Sardo happened, Shakara got in the way and Sardo killed Shakara. Oops.
Ooh,
Yeah.
spicy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking is going on. I have no idea where Kula is, though.
Yeah, so none of you listened to when Shaft followed Igna.
We weren't
No.
told we could, so I didn't.
No, yeah, I didn't think we were supposed to, so I skipped it.
Can I go back and listen to it now?
I don't have a problem with Leland. Do you have a problem?
No,
I think
no,
it pretty
I,
much divulged everything.
Yeah, you pretty well did. All right, go ahead. Go. We'll stop. Go listen to it right now.
Well, essentially, I mean, Shaft told you that, he showed up there, he saw Igna alone and talking to, what did you call him? Alderos? How did you call him?
Salardos.
He's got a couple names.
Salardos?
Salamar.
Sardosmar?
I like Salamar. I
Salamar.
think that's a good one. Because I'll say, when you first said it, I went, who the hell is that?
Alardos.
Oh.
I like
forget what you
Alardos,
said.
yeah.
Yeah, and there was an exchange there, and, from Shaft, what Shaft told you guys was that he was in there having that exchange, and he didn't see Kula or anybody else. So when Shaft relayed that information to you, Shakara, how did you take that?
That Igna is a backstabbing bastard. Pretty much the
Yeah.
same as what she already thought of him, so. So Dave asked, where did Leland come up with the inspiration for a pissed off person in a warehouse? Was that part of that Shaft off mic part?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I didn't get that either. I thought maybe I just had a bad memory, but okay, I'm reassured now.
I mean, you still have a bad memory, but...
I almost feel bad when Shaft's following somebody now, because he has, when he has Pass Without a Trace.
So sneaky.
I have a plus 19 with Pass Without a Trace
Yeah.
in my...
Insane.
So when I
pretty
roll
dirty.
things, I'm like 35, and I almost feel like this is not... You can't say those numbers in D&D. 35s are ridiculous.
Literally, okay, like with a plus 19, like I literally don't need you to roll.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You never need to be
pretty much,
stealthy.
right? Like that's
You
a
are
20 or
stealthy.
higher you're getting.
And if I roll a 1, I'm a
can
halfling, so I get to
reroll
reroll
it.
that.
So, like, even when we're walking down the street and Drakal together, he's just like, where's Shaft? Why do we keep losing him? He's right next to us.
I have a crap load of luck points I never use, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well then so does Shaft believe that his sneak mission was completely successful?
I don't know. I think there's probably more I could have looked into and there was more building that I didn't go into, so I couldn't maybe not have all the information. I think once I found out Sardos was there and that I knew Igna was going back to, the Tickly Servant, and there wasn't a lot of time, I didn't think there was time to, screw around and try to figure out if there's anything else going on. So I had to get back and let them know, about Sardos.
Right. So Shaft believes that he was successful in getting in there and getting out with nobody knowing he was there.
Yes. Now, the only thing I thought about was he said, Salamar said, well, I can find them wherever they are. And I know he has that power, but he was really freaking close, right? If he wanted to kill me and he had that, radar, beep, 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 there's Shaft right there, he could have taken care of business. So the only thing I can think of is he has to actively try to think where I am, and he wasn't doing that at that point in time.
Right?
Yeah, he's got to ping it.
Like the Paladins detect undead or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that I haven't used in like a long time.
Yeah. So yet another reason not to stick around there. Now, once again, I have no problem taking Igna. I think Igna would be a couple of good sword hits and he's dead. But, I don't know how to feel about Sardos.
The same, like Igna can't kill Shakara. Shakara can't kill Igna. And she would be sort of put out if you killed him.
You didn't seem too happy about it on the boat.
That's why I said sorta. I mean,
I don't know what choices we have.
I can't actively kill him, but if something was to
actively kill
him,
listen to you.
If something was to happen to him, it's not
maybe
ideal.
he has an accident.
Yeah, things happen. It's a bad
happy
world.
little accident.
I would like the listeners to refer to about the 50-minute mark when I had commented that Shakara and Igna aren't so different.
It's true.
Also,
if something were to happen to Shakara.
Right. What I find interesting is it seems to me, I don't know if anyone else is feeling this, but do you all think that Shakara is a little too big for her britches as far as her evaluating herself when it comes to the worth she has in Isabella's eyes?
No comment.
I plead the fifth.
I'm too scared to answer that question.
I think her britches are perfectly sized.
I know Isabella would take me out if she felt I was not doing what I was supposed to do. Because she's trying to take Erica out, so I'm not.
You help those elders
all
escape.
Secure in thinking that there's no way she would take me out. I know that is a possibility.
Yeah, that'll be a shame when that happens.
We're gonna take her out first. It's fine.
I think it would not be her first move, because then she has to find another one. They're more powerful with 3. Blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort to go find another person to be part of the coven. This tedious. She just went through that. You don't want to turn around and do it again.
I don't know. You can pick any Falzarin and put them in that spot.
I was going to say, clearly Isabella's pretty good at networking because she found Shakara through Falzarin.
I'm sorry, Falzarin. We're going to have to let you go.
Your numbers just haven't been where we need them to be. I'm sorry. I just find it interesting to hear you, Emily, say adamantly.
Okay, another word to add to the list.
That Igna cannot take out Shakara.
I mean, I guess if Isabella gave the word, he would be there in a second.
Oh, yeah, undoubtedly.
I don't think Shakara's done anything yet that would cause Isabella to want her removed. It's been iffy. I know I've been towing the line. I don't think I've crossed it yet, though.
Okay, but so you don't think that Igna would act on his own?
No, for fear of Isabella. Not for fear of Shakara. He doesn't care about Shakara. For fear of Isabella's retribution. I don't think he would. Unless Isabella said,
Shakara
do it.
have an accident? Right?
I don't know. I don't think he would do that. I think he fears Isabella too much for that.
Okay. Again, that's Shakara believing that she has so much worth to Isabella that should somebody under Isabella do something to her, it's Isabella's wrath, not Shakara's wrath that they're risking.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yes. Now I'm worried.
I mean, are you not concerned, or how concerned are you that Salamar is with Igna at all?
As far as like Shakara is concerned, I don't think Igna would. I don't think Salamar's going after Shakara. So I don't fear him in that way, the same way that Shaft and Falzarin would. I think Salamar would definitely try and kill Shakara if she got in the way, if she was protecting Shaft and Falzarin. He would kill her to get to them. I think Igna would help in that. If in a way that would make it so that he is not responsible. I don't think he would actively go after Shakara.
So you don't think there's a possibility for Igna or Kula to be radicalized by Salardo?
Igna, maybe. Kula, I don't think so. I think if Igna was standing there and Shakara and Salamar were fighting it out, and he was able to get a little dagger into her side, he would totally do that. I think he would totally do that. But it was Sardo that killed her, not Igna. If there was a way that he could spin it, yeah.
Okay, so what do you think Salardo was getting out of this partnership then that has been forged?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I haven't been able to wrap my head around. Like, how do they?
Yeah, how do they connect
together? Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
Unless Igna says, "I will distract Shakara and Mia while you take out the other two." I don't know. I don't know why Sardo is with him.
Then why is Igna with Sardo?
To try and kill, because he knows Shakara is with Shaft and Falzarin. Shaft and Falzarin are wanted by Sardo, and there's a chance Shakara could die in the process.
All right, Leland, tell us why.
No, I'm just trying to follow the logic here, right?
Because Igna goes, he is attracted to more powerful beings. Sardo is more powerful than Igna. Therefore, Igna is joining up with him. And he's probably trying to get it so that Shakara can end up dead at the end of this. Because she ored him. She thinks she's better than him. And who the hell is she? Igna's been around longer than she has. Who is she to oar him?
Yeah, Igna has expressed to you, right? Like, Igna likes the position he has within the hierarchy of the Coven. So if you take him at face value for those previous statements, then more power isn't what is driving him. Like, that's not his motive, right? But like you say, perhaps he's more susceptible to somebody of greater influence, right? Whoever that happens to be. Plus, Isabella and Salamar have already worked together, right?
Yeah.
In the limited capacity, granted, but Igna and Kula are certainly aware of that.
I don't think Igna is happy with where he is in the hierarchy. I think he thinks he wants to be happy with where he is because he doesn't think that he will gain any levels. But that's what he wants. He does want to have a higher level. He wants to have more power. He wants to be more influential. And he's not, and he doesn't think he's going to get it, so he's trying to tell himself he's happy. And that's where a lot of his anger comes from.
Ah, I see. Okay, so he wants some recognition in the Coven.
Yes.
So it's nothing personal against Shakara.
Oh no, it is now. It wasn't. It wasn't originally. It's just she got put in a higher position than him, and who the hell is she? I've been here longer. And then she yelled at him and didn't go along with what he said. And what he said was what Isabella said, but he said it, and Shakara didn't go along with that. And it's like, what the hell?
He's questioning her loyalty to Isabella.
That, and not just Isabella, but the entire Coven, respectively. And the fact that she didn't just, go along with what he said angers him. Like, she's saying, I'll take care of the elders when I say it's time. When he's like, but Isabella already said it's time. Yes, but I know stuff you don't. And he doesn't like that.
Right. Yeah. He literally, here's a silver platter with the task at hand. Like, this is supposed to be done. I'm letting you do it. Why are you not doing it?
Right. Exactly. And it's because I know better. And like, what do you mean you know better than me? How can that be possible?
And by extension, what do you mean you know better than Isabella?
Right.
Do you think Igna truly believes that Isabella has given you additional information, or do you think Igna believes that you are really in line with your other friends and not following Isabella's rule?
Option 2.
I mean, you've given him a lot of like evidence to support that, right? Like,
well, I said right in front of him, I am with you guys, meaning
well, yes,
the others.
Sure. Right. And exactly. There was literally in 146 that conversation where I think it was Mia had asked Igna, well, are you loyal to us? And he said, well, I'm loyal to Izzy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
or however the exchange went. And yeah, Shakara said, well, and I'm loyal, I think Igna said I'm loyal to the Coven, and Shakara said, and I'm loyal to you three.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but on the way back on the boat in like session like 113 or whatever, the 17 or whatever it was, like Igna wanted to kill Shaft, Falsey, and Mia because there was no need for them. And you had talked about it doing that, and you said, no, you cannot kill them. But Igna was like, why are we even entertaining them? The four of us, meaning Igna, Kula, Hulsa, and Shakara, can go get this amulet. Like, what are we doing here? And even back then you said, no, we're not doing anything. Don't be so brash, basically.
Well, yeah, I said, I need them. I know stuff you don't know. That's what I keep telling him. I know stuff that you don't know. We need them. We need whoever it is. Insert new person. We need them. I know stuff you don't know about this person. We need them.
Okay.
And I don't ever tell him what it is I know that he doesn't know.
No. You've kind of walked in and, well, my position in the Coven means when I tell you this, you take it at face value because of where I am in the Coven and where you are in the Coven. Mm-hmm. But Igna says, well, I'm sorry, but if that was coming from Isabella, that would be the case. But who are you to have come in and haven't earned anything, let alone his respect, but your place in the Coven?
Yeah.
It'll all be better when Alamar gets his body.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Britt did ask, can we get more Alamar? Well, there will be lots more Alamar.
I mean, ask and you shall receive.
It's going to be some crazy next few episodes, I think. Oh,
I mean, what a great ally to have on your side, right? He's got this bond with us.
Dave said, have you considered putting Alamar and Sardos in the same bag of holding and dropping its weighted ass in the middle of the ocean? They could have a nice long talk for a few centuries.
I mean, that's not out of the question, right?
Well, Sardo would only last a year, though.
Won't work. The staff would just pop back in his hand.
Yeah, the cane.
Oh, right.
Just going to zap right back to...
So we got to drop Falsey into the ocean, too, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but you can hold your breath for a really long time, so...
Maybe long enough for Sardo to die.
Only one way to find
out.
Look,
Alamar has been saying since you bound to him in session 114, get me my body and you'll be rid of me. Give me my body.
Yeah. Yep.
But do we want to be rid of him? He's kind of fun.
I mean, look, what do you think he's going to do when he finds out somebody's taken over Heraklion? That's his thing, right? He wanted to be a lich to rule Heraklion for eternity.
To protect Heraklion for eternity.
Well,
same difference.
Yeah, tit for tat. Whatever.
No, that is a very thick hair that needs to be split.
So the end result is still the same. He's going to go back and take out anybody that has been screwing with his
okay,
Heraklion,
so
right?
we get Alamar's body back and we let him loose on Isabella. Problem solved.
That's what I'm thinking.
Could go wrong.
Is that a problem though? Because you just wax poetical for 5 minutes about how Izzy doesn't want Shakara dead because it's such an effort finding a replacement for the Coven. Then that effort will become Shakara's. Power of 3, baby.
Oh yeah.
Shakara.
Shakara's been working on a couple people here. Somebody's going to
Falzarin's
give
ready
in.
for round 2.
Falzarin's ready. You're already doing the legwork.
Have you even met the other sister yet?
No.
Oh.
Okay, I want. There's one thing that I keep thinking of, and it would have been. I mean, I don't really know how it would have come up in RP because like Alamar wouldn't have brought it up. But what do your characters think will happen if Alamar's soul is put back into his body?
Not good things. That's.
Do you believe that he will become? He'll be like revived as a lich?
No.
Without the elixir?
Well, he never was a lich,
yeah, no.
so no.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just.
I don't
He'll
think
be Alamar.
Wouldn't he go right back to trying to be a lich?
probably
Well, that's
yeah,
a
but
risk, sure.
Problem for another day.
I just think not
Exactly.
good things. Like,
So, well, okay. I mean, that's incredibly fair given Alamar's track record. But remember, to get the elixir, he needed to team up with Isabella. And if Isabella is now the person you're going to let the dog loose on, once the genie's back in the bottle, in this case, how much harder would it become for him to reacquire the things for the elixir and go through the whole process again?
well, I mean, we're not gonna like take him back to Heraklion and be like, "Hey, maybe you have followers here. Good luck." Like, I don't know.
So what are you going to do with him then?
He's
in the scenario
dead.
He's where
dying.
Alamar is put back in his body, what are you going to do with him?
Kill
You're going
him.
to kill him.
Yeah.
And then what do you think's going to happen with his cane?
Doesn't he just go right back into the cane?
I'm not.
Kill
no,
him.
we're not
Destroy
gonna
the
kill him.
cane somehow, and kill him.
Why would we kill him?
What? Why wouldn't you?
So he doesn't become a lich. That was the
I
whole
mean, this is
point. Kill him
Elena
in the
speaking.
first place.
Once again, that lich thing takes forever. We don't have to worry about that. We'll be long dead before he does that again.
Another 33 days.
I mean,
Problem for the later generations.
you might
to
be
take
long
care.
dead.
it's just like climate change.
I'm pretty
It's
resilient.
just like climate change. It's not our problem.
Oh my gosh.
Like, all I gotta do is hide. You'll never find me.
I just meant Shakara plans on living a long time now.
I think I was answering as Elena, but Mia would probably be like, Nyogi family, Like, I gotta remember, Nyogi is her whole freaking
So what if Alamar promised he would help with the Nyogis?
Yeah, I mean, then...
He sort of said he would, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of did.
He's a pretty powerful guy.
But can you trust him?
No.
I don't.
No.
Can't.
I don't think so.
Trust is a very iffy word for everybody.
Feeble-minded
in Aspara.
Grimby.
Yeah.
That's the last resort.
Feeble-minded, my man.
Water under the bridge.
Boat. Water goes under the boat.
Well, he's flying now. So.
That's everything under the boat.
Everything under the boat.
So why don't we just take on Hannah and take the amulet from her instead of doing all this I Spy business with the dresses and going to the play and trying to figure out where she stashes the amulet when she's not wearing it? Why don't we just take her on?
It's a lot more fun to do it this way.
Yeah, I think that's the key. But like I said, all you have to do is go tell Samuel that she has the amulet. Hey, we found it. She has it. Go pick it up.
But I think Samuel will be like, okay, well, if you know where it is, why don't you get it for me and bring it here? Why do I have to go do it? That's
Possibly,
what I sent you to do.
Right? But you also don't go in and just take out a mob boss either.
Well, I'm not saying take her out, but
right?
I guess I am saying take her out. But actually, I wasn't saying it. David Day was, so.
I think you were implying going in and telling Hannah that Samuel wants this, and if you don't give it to us, you'll face his wrath.
I was actually saying to you before we started recording, to John before we started recording, why don't we tell Hannah that if she doesn't give it to us, Samuel's going to turn on the tower, which will destroy her portion of the city. Mostly her portion of the city. You give us the amulet, or you suffer the consequences. Which one are you choosing?
You go into a mob boss and you threaten them with something like that, and you're just asking for trouble. They're not just going to go, oh, you're right, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but it's a threat that could be backed up. It's a threat that would be backed up because there is a tower there that will be powered up, and she's has to know what's happened with the other towers down south and how it's destroyed the land down there and killed people.
Are you questioning our ability to be able to get this
Yes.
amulet?
So are you also...
Well, we know who the weak party
Are you also saying... Yeah, Baron Paul's Aaron. Are you also saying that... Are you also saying then that there could be no possible additional fallout from taking that course of action. As far as Hannah's perceived threat of the Paladins, because currently, as the Paladins say, status quo is what they're about right now. And you go in and say, hey, Hannah, guess what? They're here to mess shit up unless you do what they want.
I don't think we go in a threatening way. We just say, hey, this is what would happen. And just kind of like lay it out for her.
Okay, fine. But even in that scenario, a non-threatening, hey, pal, Hannah, yes, just wanted to give you a heads up. Yeah, you're fucked if you don't do this. Like, again, what's Hannah's response? You think her immediate thing is, well, okay, here's the amulet.
Don't you think she'd be a little bit motivated? She wouldn't immediately cave, but like to be like, if you want to have a city to even take over and rule, like there won't be one left. Like,
or maybe we appeal to her and be like, if you give us the amulet, cultists will not turn on the tower, and that would make it like, and the Paladins will get out of your way. You can more easily take over Detmer's territory.
The city will stand. Like, think about Goldo.
And then with combined your territory, Detmer's territory, you more easily take over Leg's territory, and you'll have the whole city. All you gotta do is give us that amulet.
She's got what she wants, right? Kill Leg, and I'll give it to you.
Just give us that amulet.
You might be successful in convincing her of that fact and that course of action. But I'm just saying I wouldn't rule out her reacting negatively against the Paladins then, or taking some course of action against the Paladins.
Yeah, but there's a shit ton of Paladins.
She has an entire third of the city that she controls. And yeah, Paladins are coming in more and more every day, but definitely their full force isn't here right now. And Hannah doesn't know what's coming, as far as you all know, right? It's, when it comes to Paladins. So I think it is a valid course of action, though, and it would be very interesting if you wanted to go down that route for sure.
I'm just saying, I don't have to take my armor off that way.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to wear a fucking dress. I'm just saying, I don't want to wear a goddamn dress. Would you?
I will take down your call rather than wear a dress.
Would you potentially do that if your exploits at the theater fail? If you're unable to locate it there, and you kind of get in, you get out, you just kind of fail at retrieving it, but you're not really detected, and your motives aren't really detective. Still leaving the door open to go to Hannah and say, hey, something bad's coming if you don't cooperate.
I think that would be Shakara's suggestion. That'd be the next thing we do, is we tell her, you give it to us, or this is what's going to happen. And if she still doesn't give it to us, then I think there potentially could be a battle. Depends on how many people are in the room at the time, I guess.
True, but where would you talk to her? At the Pussycat Palace? Because that probably wouldn't be a great place to go.
There you go. You'll get in tub, is what you'll do.
I mean, if we're in a room...
She'll tub you.
If we're in the room with her alone, and there's nobody else there, you just need one little dagger strike, right? Potentially. That's all you need.
That's how D&D works.
Just, yeah.
1d4. Taking her down.
That is the thing, because if you were surgical enough with that weapon in real life, it would be more realistic.
Right. But, who has the most to gain if Hannah's taken out of power?
Now, probably Leg.
Yeah.
Lag, right? So, and she wants him dead. You're probably better off aligning with somebody that has the same motivations. He can take out Hannah, maybe, and help. And then we can get what we need, give it to Samuel.
Well, I mean, what Emily was proposing was an alliance, technically an alliance between Hannah and the Paladin.
Yes.
That's right. But remember, we don't necessarily trust the Paladins, and we definitely don't trust Hannah.
No. And don't trust Leg.
You don't know Leg
so
yet.
I have no reason to trust him.
And we're probably not going to trust him once we do know him.
Probably not. That seems to be the way things are going.
He's Shaft's friend.
Yeah.
Do you trust Kepley?
No.
Who do you trust in
a better question
in Aspara?
Myself. Falls her in because he can't tell a lie. I think Mia mostly has my back, and I don't think Shaft would actively go against me right now. And Campbell and Hulsa.
Doesn't
and
mean
Drag.
You can trust us, I guess. I think she has my
Campbell,
back.
Hulsa, Drag.
Granby?
Jelly. I trust Jelly.
Statdorf?
Sure, I trust Statdorf.
Dorf's the nice one. That's a dick.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which one was which? Which one was Marty and Toad?
I don't even know if Stat was the one that actually wipes. I just went with the name. I had a 50-50 shot of being right.
I was wondering if you went back and listened or not.
No, I wish I had. I really wish I had. If it breaks continuity, I'm going to have to go in and re-edit that episode and just put in the other names.
It's a shame we're here in Drew Call and we're not going over to Rugar Ailbender's place and cashing in our free. That's a whole different storyline we haven't went down. We're supposed to go get that flower to be able to get the free beer for
and his dad and Papa Ailbender.
Yeah. But we can only assume that Rugar is back in Drakal. That's where he was headed last time we saw him, right?
Oh, he had his traveling brewery wagon. He kind of goes all over. So maybe he's in Drakal.
we have to drop by the Ailbender.
I'm sure Steven would love to come back on for an episode. He has nothing else going on.
You do have plans to go back into the mountains, so maybe you'll get lucky.
That would be cool. I always thought that quest line seemed really interesting. I think it would be neat to go up in the mountains, see what that's like. I've never played D&D
Just imagine if we had gone up into the mountains way back then and found the Neogi and found out all that stuff way before you're even ready for it.
You wouldn't have ran into me because Mia was in Pisces. I mean...
Well, Mia would have been in the mountains instead.
Nope. Backstory's backstory.
I think you all have some good options to go about figuring out this amulet, assuming that Anna does have it. But again, you've had an eyewitness account supporting that, so
you know how reliable those are.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So essentially we get back together. We're gonna get some clothes on. We're gonna go. We got a cage problem. We got a play to go to. We got a guy to talk to.
We don't even know if Hannah's going to this play. Apparently, there's plays every night, and we don't.
And she goes every night. She's got nothing else to do.
That's right.
She's got money to blow and time on her hands. Of course, she's gonna be going to plays.
It's the theater is right there next to the Pussycat Palace.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you go over?
Where does the necklace go when she's not wearing it? She goes to the theater.
That's what we're gonna find out.
I mean, what do you think? She goes to the theater and it's there somewhere? I think
she keeps it there.
Like in a safe?
Yeah, I think she keeps it there in the theater.
See, I was thinking the Darklings had it in a tunnel underneath the theater or something.
We don't know that that's not the case. Just Buddy said he didn't know anything about that. So that could be what's happening.
I wouldn't think she would just trust it to a safe inside the theater.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're hoping we can find out. And I think if you guys go in dressed up and sit near her or whatever, you can... I mean, she knows Mia, right? So she's going to see Mia there at the play, which is not out of, the ordinary for a aristocratic type, person to be there, and then maybe spark some conversation about, brother or father or whatever. Get some information there about what's going on while we find out more information about the theater and what's going on there.
While Falzern gets a stupid cage.
Yeah, in essence, Falzern could go get the cage, but I think we're going to have to do something with Igna before then.
Igna should be with me and Mia. Should be. I don't know where Sardo is going to be.
Listen,
I don't know where Kula is.
Why are we hashing out all these details right now?
I don't know. I'm just waiting. If Falzern goes off on his own to get a cage, he's going to die.
Well, it's like I said, it's going to be interesting what happens next.
Place your bets, everybody.
It could go a lot of ways. And pretty well, all of them are sideways, I think.
Oh, yeah. Like, we think we might know what we're doing. That's what I'm saying. We hash out these details, then those details are completely irrelevant by the time we start playing and things happen. So, yeah.
Everything's changed by an Igna.
That age-old saying.
Igna is as Igna does.
Blink twice and an Igna will change everything.
Okay, we'll wrap this baby up then. Nothing else we want to bring up before we sign off?
I'm very excited to get to the Arknall Theater. I do have a bit of a surprise for everybody once we get there. So that'll be
Oh,
fun.
great.
If Keck is performing, I hope Keck's performing.
Oh,
That would be
what
awesome.
if that's that would be incredible. But now if that doesn't happen, okay, forget that we said that.
Do they have refreshments at the theater?
You will certainly be able to get an adult beverage. But you're going to be
You're
invisible,
on the job,
right?
Shaft. Come on.
Potentially. I can just sort of sneak around. I'm okay. I'm probably better off
That
sneaking
is
around
true.
than being invisible.
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh my
Yeah, no kidding.
And if there's nothing else, then we'll see you all next time after 3 episodes of excitement.
Yes.
And I'll sign her off. I've been John and Shaft.
I've been Emily and Shakara.
I'm Elena. I play Mia.
I've been Bill and Faldrin.
And I'm Leland Steele. Happy adventuring.
Happy adventuring.
Damn it.
Happy adventuring. The pause before Leland Steele gets longer every episode. It's like, wait for it. It's just like, keep you on your toes.
Building anticipation.
Wait, is he still Leland Steele?
It's the foreplay to his sign off.
And I'm Leland Steele.
Get in the pool.